All right, class, social studies test today. As I took the test over last night, it's pretty easy. We're going to do all sections of this test. I'm going to give you some help on the last section of the test, what you should do for that essay. Start at the top with your name. You got 5 words here that you're going to use. It says use the words in the word ring to complete each sentence. Remember, you should have used your review from your TCI section. Log into Clever, check out the TCI, check out the changes in agriculture in the Midwest over the time, and get some help if you need it. A mixture of dirt and roots of grass is called agribusiness, canning, dairy, self-sufficient, or sod. People are blank if they do everything necessary to take care of themselves. Is that agribusiness, canning, dairy, self-sufficient, or sod? Preserving goods by sealing it in a jar is called... A blank is a large farm run by a big company. And a farm that produces milk is called what kind of farm? Alright, circle the letters next to the best answer. In the 1800s, most farmers' work was done by hand using simple iron tools, tools made from steel, horse-drawn machines, or gasoline-powered machines. 1980s, that was the first group that we studied. A machine that cuts and threshes wheat at the same time is called a flail, a scythe, a tractor, or a combine. Remember, it's a machine. Number 8, McCormick's Reaper helped farmers by killing off harmful insects, slicing through the prairie sod, cutting the time to harvest grain, planting seeds faster than by hand. Think what a reaper is. Number 9, how did fertilizers and pesticides help farmers? By making them become more self-sufficient, by helping them grow more food on less land, by allowing them to harvest crops faster, or by them helping them get a higher price for their crops. Alright, I think that one was a little bit confusing because the fertilizers and the pesticides do different things. The pesticide is not really talked about here. The pesticides would have killed all the bugs. What do fertilizers do? Make the soil better so you can do what? Hopefully that helps. We'll give you 50-50 on it. Right, number 10. The most important tool on many farms today in the 2000s, the most important is the reaper, the seed drill, the tractor, or the combine. The one that can do multiple jobs. Number 11. Which of these statements is true of farms of the 1800s and farms today? Farmers make a lot of money. That's a joke. No farmer makes a lot of money. Farms only work during summer months. Farms must work hard at their job. Farmers farm an average of 50 acres. Between 1800s and today, the number of acres an average farm stayed the same, increased to about 450 acres, which sounds a lot like the chart we made, decreased because farms grew smaller, decreased because many farmers moved to cities. 13. Why have the number of farms decreased? The price of crops have fallen. The rainfall in most regions has increased. The farmers only use hand tools. The farmers want to live in cities. The number of farms decreased. Less farms. All right, study your state. What source would be reliable for studying the agriculture in your state? A person's blog, that's their opinion. A picture book, like you would for kindergartners. A student's website, or a government website. Number 15. More than half of the corn grown in the United States is used for, remember we said cornstarch is teeny bit, dried products, teeny bit, sweeteners, teeny bit, but most of it is used for, we kind of rushed through that one the last couple days. And what is ethanol used for? You had to be alive and well in class yesterday. Remember we said it was used for gasoline for automobiles. Okay, I know those two sections we went a little fast because of the map test, so that's why I gave you some help. Alright, let's get to the study skills section. Social studies skills. It says, use the illustration and your knowledge of social studies to answer these questions. Now, it came through a little dark, but this is just a little one-room farmhouse. That's kind of a makeshift barn there. These guys are pulling this in with a horse. No machines, and I see a bunch of hand tools. So what year? Now they give you 1700, but 1700 wasn't the choice. So the first farms were made in the 1800s. Then we talked about how they had some improvements in the 1900s. And we talked about all the heavy tractors and machinery in the 2000s. So the illustration shows a Midwest farm in what year about? Just circle one. Which tool would not be found in this guy's barn? So there's a scythe. There it is right there. There's a plow. There's a frail. And this is a gas-powered huge tractor called a reaper that hauls in grain. Which one would not be found on this little farm? And number 19, dairy farmers depend mostly on which of the animals in the picture? Which one animal? Dairy. The key word is dairy. Does dairy come from cows, ducks, horses, or pigs? Alright, the most exciting part of the whole test here. Show what you know. This one you can't get wrong if you do a really good job and you think it through. It says, think about what you have learned about farming in the 1800s, 1900s, and today. Choose one time period, so you're going to pick one of these. And of course, I'm going to pick today because I'm going to have some kind of fancy machine. To invent a tool or a machine that might have helped farmers and their families at this time period. Write a description of your invention, then explain the following. What will the tool or machine be used for? Now, I'm going to divide this one into fourths. I'm going to change it a little bit. Okay, the first fourth, I want you to draw it. Draw your tool or your machine. Okay? There's the draw. What would the tool or machine be called? Here you're going to name it. That's where you're going to put your name in. And then here's how would it be used? And this is why it would be used. Now, I had a whole bunch of ideas. I was going to invent this tractor that would pick vegetables out of the fields and can them into glass jars right on the spot. I think that'd be pretty cool. You're going to have to take it to a big factory. And these jars would be boxed up at the back. Now, it's going to be a pretty big machinery here. So it'd be picking all the vegetables, putting them in the can. You got to boil those things in hot, super hot water, and then package them in jars, and then jars in boxes, and then there'd be a truck and a trailer that would come behind it, and then these boxes would go right onto that truck and trailer, boom, right to Pick and Save. I don't know what my name would be yet. I definitely have a lot of ways that would be used. And then why? Well, I'm going to cut out the middleman here on this. I don't have to take it to some big factory and pay them to can all my produce. I had another one. This was going to be a flying tractor to pick the corn when it was muddy. Now, if it's muddy out, you can't bring these big tractors into the field. And so what I was going to do is I was going to have this flying machine that would actually come down and it would cut all the corn. And then it would actually fly off and fly to the factory to drop all the corn off. No, brother, I got all sorts of great ideas. You come up with your own idea on what you can do. You can use it in the 1800s. You want to have some kind of hand tools, or the 1900s, some horse-drawn machines, or today where you could have gas-powered engines. All right, guys, have a lot of fun with that last one.